Hi, and welcome to this episode of Merge Minis. Today we're exploring a really interesting topic, and Jalen, what is that for us today?
Today we're going to explore the topic where to find friends. That may seem like Karinas looking all around. That may seem quite obvious, but we're living in a society where we find persons from different spaces and different places.
Right.
So long ago, you can find someone in church, in your community, in your school, but there are different ways and different
Even
forms.
at work, we could have found someone.
Yeah, different ways that we're being introduced to persons. So we're gonna get to that in this episode. Yeah. Yes, so places where you can find friends. You know, we live in a world where long ago our parents would have generally knew their spouses for a while before they would have gotten married.
Yeah.
Some of them would have grown up together in the same church, attended the same schools. You're hearing any noise, there's a plane passing overhead. But Karina, tell us, how did your parents meet?
My parents met basically through they were living close by to each other. So that's how they met, actually through family interaction.
So in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
My parents actually met going to church, the same church together, growing up together. So, the families kind of knew each other before. But we live in a world now where persons meet in many different ways.
Yep.
You meet somebody at work, you're working outside of your community, you're not working, let's say you're born in San Fernando, you're not working in San Fernando, now you're working in Port of Spain, you're working in Barataria. So the world has gotten increasingly small, and even with the invention of social media and the internet, you can now meet persons from Venezuela, from Uruguay, Czechoslovakia. I actually know of a couple who the husband is Trinidadian, and he met, actually the wife is Trinbagonian and the husband is Australian.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they met somehow.
Yeah, I know a couple. I think the husband is Trinidadian and the wife is Filipino or something like that.
So the question we want to ask this evening to you, because we come to you for your advice this evening to our community, which is there a right place and a wrong place to find a potential spouse,
Yeah, that's
a friend?
good question.
Is there a right place and a wrong place? You know what you think?
Well, I think where you meet your, not friends or relationships.
Well, I mean, friends, we hope they develop to something more.
Okay.
I hope somebody just not...
So, because, there's merge minis and we're talking about mostly, relationships and things, I'll take it from that perspective with regards to meetings, a potential. I think there's a preferable place. A right place or wrong place. A preferable place that gives
preferable places.
It gives your preferable places that gives your relationship a little more chance of success.
Okay.
For want of a better term. So, for instance, I'm thinking at church.
I knew you were going to start with church.
Yeah. or your place of worship in this case. Or at school. You see, the reason what I'm getting at here is these areas are fundamental areas that persons often frequent when they have a certain same moral, value, ethical basis as another. So educational wise, spiritual wise, probably at work, but you wouldn't want to really mix work and relations too much.
Because if the relationship goes south.
That's problems.
But
these are some areas that I could just think of off the bat. People might say, oh, it's being safe, but when you're trying to start a relationship or a friendship that may blossom into a relationship, you really want to be safe. You don't want to be too risky. For instance, what are some places you think might be little risky places to
I mean,
start
if you're a church boy and you're looking for a church girl, you don't go in the club looking for a girl.
Right.
That's not to say that church girls don't sometimes find themselves in the club. Or if you would have found a church girl in the club, well, praise the Lord, you probably rescued her.
But my question is, what are you doing in the club in the first place?
Oh gosh,
that's a
good question.
Yeah.
But the reality of what we're basically saying is not that we're not saying that you can't find someone somewhere and you can't find someone somewhere else. But what we're really saying is that don't go looking for the type of person that you want in the wrong places. So don't, if you're looking for a church girl, go to church. You know, if you're looking for a country girl, go in the country. You don't go in the metropolis of the city to look for a country girl. So basically, look for the right person in the right places. That's what we're saying. But Karina, we have a lot of persons finding people on social media.
Right.
And before we get there, we must get the elephant out of the room. How did you and I meet? I think. Go ahead.
Well,
let's see if we have the same story.
Okay.
Y'all let me go. She'll give you all the story. I'll come back and I'll give you all my story. Alright? So.
Right. So basically, Jaden and I met when he messaged me on social media first, and you know, give me a little lyrics and stuff. And I was like, I know your face, I know your name. And then when I looked, sure enough, I was in class with one of his siblings, and he was actually going to the same school that I went to. And that is how we met. First interaction was on social media, and then we would have met up in school after that. So that is my story. Let's see what it says.
Alright, so it's just us here now. So Karina and I met. I don't know what she told you all, whatever she told you all. Alright, but Karina and I met at the University of the Southern Caribbean, and she happened to be friends with a lot of my friends, or persons. We had a lot of mutual friends. So going around campus, I would see her from time to time, and eventually, you know, I saw her on social media, came up as a friend suggestion, added her as a friend, been seeing her around campus, and one thing led to the other, messaged her. But we were quite platonic from early on, just casual friends. We had a friend group that we used to align with, and after some time, just realizing she was constant, and friends come and friends go, and we were just like real good. She was my confidant, the one I would tell, you know, almost stuff to. You know, I realized that I had a really good friend in her. And after some years of doing that, we decided to, let's see where this goes. So it started off with friendship, and of course, that friendship started through social media as well. Seeing her, but first contact through social media, and then I hope she wasn't lying, Dolly. Let's bring her back.
So I'm waiting to hear what Jaden said when I watch back the video and edit it. But go ahead.
Well, I basically said we met in USC, mutual friends, and then on social media. What did you say?
It sounds just about right.
You can lie because the video will be replayed.
Wait. Right, sounds just about right.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, guys, so the reality of it is that we met in school, the University of the Southern Caribbean. Big up
I
to them.
didn't tell them all the information.
I given all the information. Come, if you want to go and find a good spouse, plenty people find a spouse in USC.
Correct.
Yeah, you're finding people from the island. Anyway, the point we're saying is that if you wanna really find someone of value, you wanna find somebody of quality, think about what you want in a spouse.
Yeah.
And then look in those places. Don't look in the wrong places. You'll be wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy.
And a lot of heartbreak and tears.
And sometimes money
and
too.
Mental stress. And money.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that you really shouldn't be wasting.
Yeah. So look in the right places for friends. If you meet someone on social media, as I would say 70% of the world are now meeting their spouses via some type of social media interaction, we want to recommend that you take the relationship into the real world. And I know many of you say now social media is the real world. Oh, I beg to differ. But there are many things that you can't learn about an individual via social media. And so don't just be talking for 2 and 3 years on Facebook, Instagram, and then you want to get married. Take your relationship into the real world. Get to know her, get to touch her, see her. Oh gosh, please. Touch her appropriately. Alright? But get to know each other. Yeah. Get to know each other.
Activities, build that bond, and express friendship in the real world. That. Yeah.
So guys, again, look for love in all the right places, and pray ultimately to God about everything you do, and may God continue to richly, I want to say richly, may God continue to richly bless you as you seek to find that lifelong love. Bye.